我们吴七港以前是在香港那边搬迁过来的，
它可以5米深的那个
潮差，
那很多啊。Welcome to Waisanting. This is what's left of that island.
沙洲本来有4楼高
，4楼高啊，那么高。
4楼高，现在特产就像这样子
啊，我听说这里以前有大概1000个人住在这边。你小的时候还有人住在这边吗？As you know, we arrived in Taichung Harbor, and we're now in the Wuqigang part of it, which is the fishing harbor. This harbor also has a long history going back to the late 1700s, and the way it is now was finished in 1979. It can fit about 300 boats in it, and you can see a lot of the boats are CT3, CT4, larger boats. I have somebody very special with me. It's the responsible person for this harbor. He's not only the 理事官, he also has about 20 plus boats here. 陈理事长你好。
你好，你好。
谢谢你的时间。我想多了解那个吴七港的历史，你可以介绍一下吗？
我们吴七港以前是在香港那边搬迁过来的。
哦，他是搬过来这边。
对。
以前这里是什么东西？是别的渔港或者是怎么样？
没有，这里是他新建的渔港。
哦 ，OK。我刚听你说它可以5米深的那个潮差，
对，
那很多啊。
对，我们这边的潮差很深。
我们刚从安平开过来，我发现那个台湾的那个岸边沙子非常的多，很多渔港已经不能用。
对，
这个台中渔港、吴七港怎么可以继续用那么久？
因为它是跟这个台中香港连在一起的，我们这个航道常年都有在抽沙嘛，
所以它还是有沙子的问题。
当然是有沙子的问题，每年都是要持续的抽沙。
We're going to go on my boat. We're going to do a little tour of the harbor, and Chen Lisajang is going to explain more of the layout of this harbor. So let's get on the boat. 那这是安全车在这边，
对，这里是安监所啊，再过来这个地方是加油站，渔船的加油站。
OK，
在我们正前面这个地方是那个兼营玉瑞渔船的游客上船的码头。
哦，我看到他们的比较高级啊。
对，我们正前面这里就是我们的蟹渔码头。
这是那个鱼市场是不是？
对，里面是拍卖场。
那我们进去这边这个区是什么？
前面那里就是加水区。
哦，加水区。
渔船的加淡水的加水区。
哦 ，OK。
这个是小船的浮动码头。
对 ，CT0、CTS 这种的。
对 ，CTS、CT0、CT1，最多好像只能停到 CT1而已。
那么多年，那个渔港有没有改变了？
现在就是变成比较观光的意思啊。因为这几年来渔业资源也比较减少了啦。
那渔获的地方在哪里？
渔获直销中心就在前面那里面，有的船家他自己抓一抓，就直接在里面卖了。
哦 ，OK， 可以每一个船长可以自己买的，
他就有固定的摊位。
Chen Lisajang was explaining to us how this fishing harbor is moving more towards tourism, and a good indication of that is the market. I just want to explain a little bit more about how that market works. About 20% of the fish are sold at auction in the nighttime at 4 a.m. As a tourist, you can also go there and buy. But there's another option. At 9 o'clock in the morning, and from 9 o'clock on, you can also come here and you can buy fresh fish at that part. And that happens right over here in the front part of the market. So that's kind of the way it's split up here. About 20% is sold at the nighttime market, 30% is sold during the day from 9 o'clock on. So you have a lot of selection. It's the largest direct fish market in Taiwan. And the remaining 50% is sold at other auctions and other fish markets throughout Taiwan. So I got a special treat for you today. We're gonna go to a place called Waisanding. It's very cool. When I took the boat up from Tainan to Taichung, we passed it, but from the boat you can't see it because it's a sandbar that is just about a meter above the sea. I'm gonna take you there today. We're gonna explore this place because there used to be 1,000 people living on it. And now nobody lives on it, all right?
All right.
So let's go check this out. It's gonna be very interesting, and I'm also gonna give you a little bit of a task to do. You're gonna have to come up with some poetry when you're up there, all right?
I was promised there would be no poetry.
Well, sometimes you gotta be flexible, all right?
Okay.
Let's go. Where? We're now heading out to this sandbar, and the way this sandbar was created was when this river, what's the name of the river? Dosoishi, flushed tons and tons of meters of sand into the ocean, and the current brought it down here and created this sandbar. It used to be 1,000 hectares in size, so it was an absolutely massive sandbar. But because this river, the Dosoishi, doesn't put out as much sand as it used to because of the construction, these sandbar is slowly being eroded away. In a few years, there won't be anything left.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to check it out now.
Are they gonna let us off the boat?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get off the boat, and what I want you to do is dig to see if you can find any water, because they used to dig wells into these sandbars and the fresh water would come out. And part of the reason people moved away is there was no more fresh water. Once the water's gone, it becomes very difficult to live in a place. I'm also going to explain to our friends why we're wearing these outfits. I mean, not only does this boat have a lunch on it and KTV, it also has crazy outfits you can wear. So we've all picked our crazy outfit, kind of make the trip more fun. We'll start filming out there as well, but right now just enjoy the view as you go along, and we're gonna have a little more lunch and enjoy the trip. Hao, 谢谢. Come on, come on.
谢谢.
All right, welcome to Waisanding. This is what's left of that island. On this side here, we have the Strait of Taiwan, and on this side, we have the calm intercoastal waters. Now, let's go dig a hole and see if we can get some water. All right, let's go over here. Hey, 你好，你在做什么？
我在爬蛤蜊。
爬蛤蜊啊？
对，
这个东西是爬蛤蜊的。
对，因为我们老祖先以前要爬蛤蜊，要吃蛤蜊，就是要用这种工具来爬。
怎么用啊？
就这样子，它退潮就会躲在里面，没有跟潮汐出去，躲在里面，它要3公分。啊，所以说我们要靠腰力，这叫靠腰，要靠腰。
靠腰。
对，它2公分至3公分，爬到的时候，它会空一声，我们就把它这样子爬起来，爬起来就有蛤蜊。
好。
来啊，用腰拱紧它，对，2公分至3公分，慢慢
来，
对，慢慢来。
OK， 好，给他们玩了。你们是不是小到大都来这边吗？
我从小就在这边长大的。
能不能介绍那个改变怎么样？从你小到现在，
从以前是沙洲是很大，大到我都没有看到对面的海域，就像是在看那个沙漠。
这很大，
是真的很大，可是那个国土就一直在流失啊。所以我们县政府现在都一直在做固土的动作，那个就是啊，因为这个沙洲对我们东石很重要。你看我们那个养科要是没有这个沙洲保护我们的科田，台风一来稍微风浪大一点，而且这个沙洲又一直往内陆一直跑，会影响我们养科。
沙洲本来有4楼高
，4楼高啊，那么高。
4楼高，现在退潮就像这样子而已。因为它每年会向西南移动100公尺以上。 然后国际灯塔本来是在这个沙洲上面，现在已经在
3年前还在沙洲上面。
哦，真的
？3年前。
哦，那改变很大。
改变很大，对。
我听说这里以前有大概1000个人住在这边，你小的时候还有人住在这边吗？
后来是剩下一对老夫妻啦。
因为你现在什么都看不到，他们住在这边的房子都没了，是不是？
都没有了啊，他们搬走了，不住这里啊，因为那个高脚寮就是台风来也都扫掉了，就没有了。
他们以前也可以有门牌，是不是？
有门牌，对啊，他们在这边爬蛤蜊。带到那个陆地去卖钱。
You can't believe it, but there were over 1,000 people living here. They even had addresses. So there were residential addresses on this sandbar. The houses were registered so people could deliver mail. There were barber shops and grocery stores and a whole little community that was set up. There's almost no trace of that now because the sandbar is disappearing. 那个沙子他们预计什么时候没了？
去年都在讲说5、6年
，5、6年，差不多5、6年。
那以后怎么办？你们的壳棚怎么办？
就一定会影响到我们东石的科农的生计啊。那个沙一直往内陆移，往南移。我们都在想说，这片沙洲会不会一直移到我们东石？因为以前我们到外伞顶洲要开船要1个多小时。
哦，现在越来越近。
对啊，我们来几10分钟就到了。
Okay. You know, I'm a fisherman and I'm most interested in fish, but don't forget that oyster farming is also a kind of aquaculture. It's also a type of fishing. And so I think it's interesting to see how this community, once with 1,000 people, is now down to nothing. However, it's good to see, at least at this stage, the oysters are still being raised here, and I hope that this will continue. I hope they'll find a way to protect the oyster beds from the Taiwan Strait, and that this industry can continue many years into the future.完成了吗？
完成了。
要找到水吗？
有。
那个水可以喝吗？
可以喝啊。
那看看吧，真的吗？我觉得不行呢。
不是很好喝啊。
是淡水吗？
不是，它咸。
那都不能喝啊。这是那个原因，当时人离开，因为那个水不能喝，是咸的，是吧？那这真的没办法活的，活不起来啊。Philip， 有没有蛤蟆？
没有，有死掉了。
死掉了，那我们今天晚上怎么办？没有东西吃啊，
就饿肚子啊。
饿肚子。我的孩子现在玩了30分钟，快要回家。他们想介绍给你听，他们外山顶的感觉怎么样？谁开始说啊？
也蛮可爱的，
怎么可爱？
而且很多这个地板上圆圆的那个螃蟹的颗粒。
那是螃蟹弄出来的。2
眼沙蟹在那边玩的。
你是美丽的，那哪里美丽？你跟他们说一下，
海风吹很舒服，然后沙滩也很舒服，
很舒服，沙很细，
对不对？
风景赏心悦目。
对啊，很好啊 ，very good，very good。那 Philip， 你是什么？你要说什么？介绍给他们听。
很壮观哦，那个凶猛的海浪打上去，它不怕，然后它保护后面这些
壳棚。对。OK， 很好 ，OK， 成功了。我们要回去了，因为船走了。好，谢谢你们，真的今天很有意思，谢谢。This is an amazing place, and I really recommend you bring your family here before it's too late. Hopefully they can create more of a sandbank to protect the industry behind us, but in the meantime, we can't guarantee that. Check this place out. It is amazing, especially when you think of the history of it.